broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, Grimsters! Welcome back. I'm so excited. We are here to talk about Grimm, episode Weserein, here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yay!
I'm your host, Zach Wilson. My fantastic panel. To my left, Yael Tygiel.
Hi, everybody.
To her left, Dillon Chance.
Hello.
And we're welcoming a new face to the panel this week. Our friend, Tauri Miller.
Yay!
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for...
That was a really good me impression.
thanks for joining us, Tauri.
Yeah, glad to be here.
We're going to jump in, and we're going to talk about Weserein. I feel like that's how it has to be pronounced. Like, you have to, like...
Be angry.
Yeah. Angry in German.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Of course.
That's what I meant.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Grimm. I'm so excited this show's back. I can't say it enough. I missed the show. I missed the Wesen. I missed you guys.
Oh,
That's nice.
it's nice to be missed.
Well, not you, Tom.
Still nice.
But we're going to jump in. I just want to let you guys know, if you're not aware, now this show is being broadcast live via YouTube. So if you're listening to this, let's say on iTunes, you didn't know about it, every Sunday at 5 p.m., you can tune in to the show live. You can jump on the chat roll with us and let us know what you're thinking. I've got it up on my computer so I can see what y'all lovely people are saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can join in on the conversation. So I want to let you guys know about that. And
I got so excited about the chat roll.
yeah, I was dropping
breakingly
stuff.
happy.
But yeah, so let's talk about this episode. Our first episode in, and we are off to the races. Kidnapped by danger. No, it was a big episode. We started out. We have woos clues going on. We have Juliet dealing with the crazy drop at the end where she vogues.
Hexenbiest Juliet.
And we have Monroe being kidnapped right before, we're dealing with that as we left the Christmas break with Monroe and being kidnapped. Oh my God.
Is it cute or is it sad that Rosalie still thinks they're gonna go on a honeymoon?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
They started the episode off and she's like, hell yeah, Mom, we're gonna go on a honeymoon. I was like, you're kidding me.
It is sad. It is really sad.
It's really sad. She's packed. She's ready to go.
Yeah.
All her bags are packed.
Yeah, well, too bad.
They could go to a nice scenic forest location with spikes in the ground and chains and stuff. It's pretty sweet. I'm just saying.
I mean, what did you guys... I was legitimately scared for Monroe, and I still am at the end of this episode. A lot of shows, when people get kidnapped, you're like, okay, you're kidnapped. Okay, just go get rescued already. Get to it. I'm legitimately scared for Monroe. This is creepy.
Yeah.
This is a frightening place.
I don't. I'm still in your old mind frame where I'm just like, yeah, okay. They're gonna save him. I don't think Monroe's gonna die.
Yeah. As they kept building up the kidnap and the danger and the obnoxious kid who's watching him and whatever.
Yeah, that guy.
That kid. As they kept building that up, I was like, all right, so maybe they might kill someone off. That'd be interesting. And then not to jump ahead, but that one thing that happened with Juliet, and I was like, what just happened?
When she ripped out the throat?
Yeah. So I was like, wait, maybe Monroe's gonna live because that just happened.
I was about to send a tweet about something that had happened prior, and then that started happening, and I just threw my phone on the ground, and I was like, what is going on? I thought that was real for a second. And I almost had a heart attack.
Well, when I found out it wasn't real, I felt like that was priming us to lose a main character. It was like, this is how this is going to feel when it actually happens.
That's the thing. It's Grimm hasn't done that yet. We have not yet lost a character. And as much as I don't want to, I want Grimm to be the kind of show that will go there.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly, the writing has taken it to the next level this season. I'm scared for Monroe. Like, how devastating would that be? Like, he is a big fan favorite character.
Yeah.
From episode 1, he has been everyone's favorite. To lose him would be devastating and raises the stakes of the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it would be a great motivator to get have our main characters hunt down the Wesen KKK.
Yeah.
And it becomes the back half of the season becomes a revenge streak.
Maybe Rosalie can become some sort of assassin.
Oh my god. That'd be so cool.
I've been watching too much Arrow, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be such a cool assassin.
Wouldn't she?
Yeah.
She was very murder streaky this week.
She did say, "I will kill all of them."
Yeah.
She's got like dirt packed into the fur to like hide like camo and stuff. She's just got a big knife like that. She doesn't even use guns.
No, right.
She doesn't need guns.
She uses potions and knives. That's all Rosalie needs
Knives.
on her murder
Amazing.
streak.
Knives never run out of bullets, guys.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's accurate.
Unless it's a gun sword.
accurate.
Shut up.
You never have to reload a knife.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Unless you're throwing them, I guess.
On the
But give that back.
on the chat roll, Mega Dragon Slayer puts a bit. It was the first time I've been speechless watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
They say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, because you're.
I guess they don't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was gonna
well, I hope we don't go that far.
Oh my God.
You know,
I mean,
no.
there are enough seasons in where we could make that switch, right?
Yeah.
No, but I think that we're dealing with the huge potential that we could lose Monroe at this point, or that somebody else goes down while we lose Monroe, and it could be like a bait and switch kind of thing.
I mean, we talked about last half of the season that once Wu knows there was a chance that Wu would not take it well and that we would lose Wu.
He's still Wu. Let's talk about Woo's Clues,
Yeah.
you guys. It's Woo's Clues. We need to have a jingle.
Yeah.
Like, we need a pre-programmed Woo's Clues jingle.
And just play it anytime we talk about Weserein. I love it.
all right.
Marissa, get on that.
Oh, we get a thumbs
She
up.
thumbs up.
Wu knows, you guys.
Yay!
Wu found all 3 clues, and he put them in notebook, and it's all gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like on it now. He is like, I know. Tell me what to do. I got this.
Yeah.
I did like when
I'm
they were
part
like,
of the
"We
team."
need you to do this," and he's like, "All right, but when I'm back, we're gonna have a talk."
Yeah.
Oh, Techno Griffin, no. Techno Griffin in the chat roll says if we have to have someone die, kill Bud.
No!
Not Bud. No.
That'd be
No.
terrible.
No, Techno Griffin.
Here's why we can't kill Bud. One, as sad as it would be, it would not change anything.
Yes.
He's not a
Bud
big
has
enough
been an
character.
ancillary character for a while now. Like, he was more, in like season 2, he was sort of like more recurring, where he would like pop up every other episode or so, and he
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
affecting stuff. Now he's just like, he occasionally appears to remind you that he exists.
I'm a fun guy.
Yeah.
I'm Bud.
Right.
And to like
Be annoying.
accidentally rat out Nick for
Yeah.
losing his powers. But he's not a main character, so it would hurt, but it wouldn't make the show like and losing Monroe makes the show an unsafe place.
Yeah.
You're like, anyone could die if Monroe can die.
Yeah.
And it makes every episode scary.
Yeah.
Because they're often in those situations where like they could die. Every episode they're in that situation. But none of our main characters have passed away yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Dylan's like, no.
I don't want anything. This is sad.
Dylan, stop being sheltered.
Seriously.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't want these people to die. I've been through this. Like I said, we watched Game of Thrones. It's very sad.
But you keep coming back.
I know.
I feel like they're going to bring back Meisner just to kill him.
And that wouldn't raise the stakes either.
It would raise all the stakes.
Yael would be like wearing a black
Yeah.
satchel.
What if they bring back Trouble and kill her?
Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
I wouldn't want to see that either.
No one wants to see that.
Monroe or Trouble? Which one dies?
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Story-wise, Monroe.
Okay, I'm gonna separate myself for a moment, take a step back, and like play writer's act mode on this. I think it's stronger choice to lose Monroe than to lose Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble is like, oh, we had this new character. If we lost her, it would feel like them saying we had this new character. It didn't quite fit, so we got rid of her. We lose Monroe, somebody who has been a glue to the show since episode 1. That is a devastating blow to Nick, to Juliet, to Rosalie, but to the audience more than anything.
Yeah.
So, as much as I don't want to lose him, it would be an interesting plot for the show.
Yeah.
Let's talk, before we get more into the Woo's Clues storyline, while we're still talking about the kidnapping.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of, now that we're getting to know more about the Weserein? The Weserein! They're basically the KKK meets the Nazis, like with no subtlety to that comparison.
Yeah. No, the giant swastika-like wolf songo.
Oh yeah, no, it's straight up red banners with the little like black and white circle.
In case you guys weren't aware,
Grand Master.
The Grand Master.
The Grand Master.
They're in cloaks where you can't see their faces. We get it.
Are you sure? Because I think you guys might be missing. They're trying to make it look kind of like Nazis.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I don't. Yes.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode to make sure.
Yeah. You guys, check that out. They're doing it.
But when I wanted to examine for a moment that scene that we got right at the end, and we see all the different Weserein members gather around. We see the Grand Master in like the red lined cloak, and then we had one person in white, one person with like a white stripe on the hood, and everyone else just in black. What do you guys think? The different, like obviously the guy on the Grand Master, like that's how he signifies he's the. I think that's the same thing in the KKK. That whatever he is dresses in red.
Yeah,
the Grand Dragon.
It's the Grand High Wizard.
Is that what it's called?
What is it?
High Wizard. High Wizard, yeah.
That's it. It is. It's the Grand Wizard. Oh, my God. I literally learned this stuff from like South Park.
Yeah. I learned it from personal history. But no, I think it is a ranking system. Like in a lot of martial arts, like you have different uniforms to represent different levels. So like maybe the guy in the white was he's a commander. Then with the white stripe is like a general, and then the red is like a sergeant, and then the Grand High is the black with the red stripe. Something to that effect.
Ooh.
I'm thinking the white is probably like maybe they separate like the judge and the Grand Master, like those are two separate people. So like he's like the one who decides.
Because they talk about a tribunal, so there has to be like a main judge that like does the sentencing.
Yeah, I mean that's what they call it. They call it a tribunal, which is like almost just like an attempt to paint it as like you're gonna get a fair.
Sorry, Techno Griffin says Death Eaters. So good. Nice. Needed to be said.
By calling it a tribunal, I mean not unlike what they did in Harry Potter. They give it this air of it's gonna be a fair trial. Like you have a chance to get out of it. Of course, that's like. No. Well,
I mean, you have a fair trial. They will say, did you marry someone who is not of your kind? Yes, I did. Okay. Like that. I don't understand what you guys
are. You friends with the Grimm? Yes. Okay.
That is your trial.
You're guilty.
Yeah. Just like any trial. Did you murder someone? Yes. Okay. Fair trial.
But oof, the punishment that they carry.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Then Terry. I imagine Terry's also a bloop bot.
Yeah.
This seems to be all bloop bot in the Weserein. It's just horrifying.
He was. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was burned and then put on the giant.
Well, I think he was like tortured, like he had his fingers cut off, and then he was put on the thing, and then he was
set
burned.
on fire.
Yeah, because the spike was also black. It was black as if it had been burned.
Either way,
I just wanted to clarify what we're looking forward to.
I think he also had teeth pulled, so that was a thing.
You must have watched it on a big screen.
Yes. Oh, don't they? Whenever they're torturing them, they do that thing that makes them turn into a Wesen. Remember they did this in a previous season.
In the when they were in the circus.
Something they turn him into Vesin and then they torture him as Vesin. So they probably like ripped out his wolf teeth. Oof. Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Yeah. Just like, oof, let's shake that off.
Yeah.
Can I make a little comment about the Grand Master?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's played by Brandon Quinn, who was the star of a show called Big Wolf on Campus.
Oh.
So I'd like to imagine that these are in the same universe, where he grew up from being a werewolf in high school and was like, you know what? Purity. Werewolf purity. And became a Grand Master of a Vesin KKK.
And he has this little brother who hopes to one day also be a Grand Master.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the little brother?
We should.
Yeah.
I want to punch him in the face. When he came over to offer water, I was like, I don't know if I believe that like they would let the weakest member be the one who watches this guy. And then when it was vodka, I was like, yeah, they wouldn't let the weakest member be the one to like, watch over.
I would argue that he is the weakest member. He seems like that.
Right,
Yeah.
but if he was weak enough that, let's say it was water, and he was weak enough that he would have given him water, then he would not have been the one.
Weakest in like terms of
Emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, when he was doing, I'm like, I don't trust this guy. Like in the moment, I'm like, I don't trust this guy at all.
Yeah, no.
Like, there's no way. Like, I figured it was gonna be like water, and then he like pours it in his lap or something.
Yeah.
But vodka, that was a funny twist.
Someone thought it was piss.
I thought it was actually.
Review everything. Yeah, thought it was piss.
I totally thought
I
he was
did
gonna,
too.
I thought he was going to pour it out in front of it.
Yeah,
Just
because that's like even more torturous.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But then when he gave it to him, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have this pretty evil plant. Like they hold them there. Like they have this thing set up where there's like two people. How many Bloodbot are getting married to other Vesin in this area? Or do they cart them in from across the country?
I mean, when we find out later about the guy in prison and that he's told who to tell, who to go, and who to get, and whatever, I feel like they're bringing them in from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Makes
what he's
sense.
trying to imply.
It
The
also.
home base of every evil Vesin operation is pretty much in Portland, so.
Oh, yeah.
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 Portland's like the Vesin Jerusalem. Like they all seem to just flock there, like as if it's a pilgrimage of some kind.
Okay.
Like that's the way it seems to be. Like they're all going there. All the evil people, all the groups are all just like finding their way to
Are
Portland.
you saying that Jerusalem is full of evil people?
I'm saying that it
wayward
attracts
people.
a lot of different groups going in there trying to like take it over.
Moving on.
That's not at all what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
There's a lot of good people in Portland too.
Moving on.
All right. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, but I was just gonna say it makes sense that it would be sort of their like that they're bringing in people from all over because just the amount of members at the tribunal.
Yeah.
That was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Bloodbots that are evil. It's too bad. I want to like Bloop. They put the bad in Bloodbot.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Thumbs up.
Don't encourage that. Don't encourage that. You're new. Don't pick sides yet.
But so while they're also they're like hunting down Shaw as well, and well now Shaw's dead.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean he's like the worst of the hate group because he's the lazy one. He hates totally, but he's just totally passive about it. I mean I don't know which is worse, like the hater that like wants you dead but doesn't do any. I mean I guess that's better. It's like
Yeah, the
Better than the guy
result-wise.
that comes after you.
Yeah. Comparing him to the Grand Marshal or Grand Master, who's like, I'm going to actually murder you.
Right.
I would choose the lazy one.
Me too.
All right,
If I
fair
had
enough.
someone that wanted me dead, I'd rather it be the guy that's sitting at home Just drinking a beer on the couch.
Yeah, being like, oh, I wish she was dead.
Yeah. Okay.
At
Thanks.
least you know where the Grandmaster stands. This guy, I mean, he could be nice to your face and then talk crap about you behind your back. I feel
But
like
I'm
that's
still
pretty
alive.
bad. To feel the pain of being talked behind your back.
I feel
This
the pain
guy,
of
he talks to people's faces.
I'm talked in front of my face on iTunes comment or YouTube comments. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Oh, this is a good point. That thank you again, Techno Griffin points out. Shaw was not a blue bot,
Right.
so they can't all be blue bot.
Yeah, he was a Klaus strike.
Yeah.
Which is that also a type of wolf?
Klaus Strike's more like a cat type.
All right, because we learned recently about the different like subspecies.
Right.
Yeah, no, Klaus Strike's like closer to a lion, I think.
Okay.
But that's an interesting point. So I guess it's just a general purity group. We just happen to be. It happens to be significantly blue bot.
A mixed species
Purity group.
purity group.
I feel
It's
like
not going over well.
But that's a
what-
fair point. Like it's a very hypocritical. Like,
Yeah.
But I guess their line is like you're allowed to be friends. You just can't like have babies with them.
can't
Well,
sleep
I
with
mean
them.
that makes sense in all the purity groups, kind of.
Right.
No one said you can't talk to them. You just can't, try to build a life with them.
Right.
Yeah, separate but equal.
This is the.
Well, I'll talk to him,
Yes.
but I'm not going to eat with them.
Yeah.
We should sit
this is
them
stupid.
down and be like, guys, there's a lot of hypocrisy in your hate
Yeah.
group.
really need to sort out your problems.
Yeah, you need to separate your hate groups. You need to have your hate.
Because what I mean,
group and
even
their
the little
hate.
brother. What I don't know why I'm slipping, but Rosalie, her Vesson,
Fuchsbau.
Fuchsbau. Thank you. I don't know. I forgot.
How dare you?
Hold on. just listen. He says, stupid Impuro or whatever, and he's like, blue blood doesn't lie with Fuchsbau. Like, and he's a blue bod, so he's saying that when he says it, it almost comes off as Fuchsbau is like a not
Subspecies.
Yeah, like a subspecies, kind of like a offshoot, and like they're lower than us. But what if there was a Fuchsbau in the group standing right there? Don't you think they'd be a little pissed off? They would be like, no, Fuchsbau doesn't lay with blue bod, jerk. And then they would fight each other.
See, this is the problem. I mean, maybe it's a select group of like the powerful Vesson. Like a Fuchsbau is not necessarily as powerful as a blue bot or a Klaus Strike. Those are more powerful, violent Vesson.
right, true.
Right.
So you would imagine. So maybe it's like we only care about the purity of the really
strong
scary
ones,
ones.
Yeah.
But then, like, what about the
I guess they don't care about
Those-
the little
those,
mouse
like-
guy or Bud's, whatever Bud is. The beaver.
or the what's it? The guy I'm trying to like look it up while we're sitting here.
Which guy?
From a few weeks ago, with the quintuplets.
Oh.
I loved that guy. He was the leçon.
Yeah.
Listen.
Leçon.
He's a wolf.
Yeah.
technically.
He was like the
Yeah.
subspecies wolf.
But so like, is that too far out? Like they're cousins, basically.
Yeah, which I think is something you want to discourage anyway.
Well,
Right?
But again, it's similar. Like a fox is like considered like similar to a wolf in that they're both like canine species. So this guy's a different canine species. Where's the line? Is what I'm saying. Now that we know about all the different subspecies, where is the line according to this Weserein
Well,
council?
so if Fuchsbau is not allowed to be with Blue Bot because they're separate, right? Then Luçon would also not be okay.
Right.
Right.
So I think it's literally just your tiny little. That's so small.
Yeah.
Your ground. That's inbreeding, is what
Well,
that
I
is.
mean, and that's how a lot of the purity things are. Where
Yeah,
Like that
royal
is the-
families.
That is
Yeah,
the
it's just like-
opposite
like-
of pure,
Well, yeah, but it's like keep it in.
right?
But it's just it is an interesting dynamic though that I guess that it's different from like just regular humans in that they have sort of teased that if they were to actually have kids, it would somehow be dangerous That it's not just like, oh, it's a white person and a Hispanic person, like, and they have like a baby that just is like a lighter tone.
It's just a mixed race.
Yeah, but in this case, and this is something that I know that somebody asked at Comic-Con, and basically the answer was, it would be like a chemical mixture that could explode.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's when you're going off on, like, if, you know, a Fuchsbau and an Oswong.
No, they were specifically, the question was specifically asked about Monroe and Rosalie.
Oh my god, I want them to try making a baby.
Oh, it would be the cutest baby ever.
Or
Well,
it would
actually, it would be
explode.
horrifying.
What if it was just a blue bod that looked like a Fuchsbau?
Well, it might be that simple. They were sort of hinting at. I think the question was posed to Silas, and we talked about this a little bit. He responded. He was like, "It's a chemical reaction that could be dangerous. Like, it's basically like something that's untested."
Right. Well, I mean,
An angry Fuchsbau.
yeah. Well, I mean, and you probably don't have the answer to this, but like,
Maybe
I mean,
we do.
would it be an explosion in that a lot of energy, like it's going to be really powerful, or it's going to be like a mutant? Like that's
mutant.
Those are the two sides of the coin. In that, like, it's untested and dangerous, but is it dangerous because it's going to be so great? It's going to have all the cunning of a Fuchsbau and all the aggression of a Blutbot,
See?
or is it going to be just this crazy abomination that no one wants to look at?
With like
Oswald.
4 arms. Nice.
No, but you have to figure, like, if different Vessin have like changed over the years into the different subspecies, that it would follow logic that eventually they, at some point, they did like hook up with another Vessin, and that's how subspecies were created.
right.
Well, I think that's what...
Maybe it creates one of the legendary Vessin.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Dairy Vessin.
You've seen those. Those are awesome.
I mean, that happens. Like,
Yeah.
there are Vessin, and like, this is something that what happened it's non-canonical. In the comics, there was a whole crazy plot line that got off the rails where somebody was trying to create a super Vessin.
Yes.
And there was discussion of like the original Vessin, like descended from truly pure lines to differentiate it from just general pure lines, so that those ones were more powerful, and to take their DNA and combine it into one super Vessin baby, that was going to happen.
I like this.
I don't know that that's going to be exactly what they do, but I love the idea of the original Vessin, like the back, going all the way back, and like these one, if that line had stayed pure, it was like they're super powerful.
I'm so excited.
That could be really cool if they sort of just take pieces of that comic storyline and put it on the show. That's like a season 5 type deal.
Right.
Well,
We're getting close.
yeah.
Yeah,
Season 5.
Exactly. Well, that's what I mean. It's like
Season
something for
5,
next season.
Super Vessin. Season 6, Space Vessin.
We did have kind of an alien Vessin at one point in like
Yeah.
season 2.
That weird.
The reptile thing.
The one that they were like, it's kind of like an alien. That's,
Yeah, it glowed. It was like blue.
Yeah.
That is as much alien as it was.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean it was actually from outer
Right.
space.
It looks like an alien.
What if all Vessin come from Mars, you guys?
Mars specifically?
I don't know.
I feel like if we're
Just
gonna
turns into a different show.
Yeah. If anything, they're from Venus. Venus Vessin.
Venus.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Mine gets rejected.
I want
both of those are rejected.
I want to talk about
Yes.
Lieutenant Acker, or
Okay.
Officer Acker rather. He's
He
not-
looked familiar.
You know what? I didn't.
Looked very
from
familiar.
the first moment that I saw him, I was like, I don't trust this guy. His haircut is too German.
Wow. Okay. Now we know how Zach feels.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I want that clear.
Look, he has. Look, that haircut is the exact haircut that they give in movies and TV to all young Nazis in World War II movies.
Okay, so here's I'm interrupting you.
Wow. You got a very different experience, because my first thought was, I've seen him before. What show is he in?
I'm not gonna let you dig that hole. So
No, look, I'm talking purely
Okay.
about what how Hollywood dresses certain characters.
So-
They use that haircut is very much used for that type of character.
I would say that the way they made him look appearance-wise was very much in the way that you would see cult members or specifically I'm thinking of Orphan Black, the cult members. They're the very like puritanical style things. Is that what you mean? More so?
Yeah, I mean, it was just the comb. Like,
No.
Zach says yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to help you here.
anyway, the point is, I didn't trust him from the beginning, and I was right.
Well, I mean, his whole thing is, I heard something and I got up and then I got hit from behind and then I magically was in the
Well,
bushes.
at first he said, I saw a kid in a hoodie, and I was like, don't go down that path.
No, but his story did change.
Yeah.
And that was part of it. Like, at first, his story was, I was getting out of the car. I saw something. As I got out of the cars, I got whacked out on the head. And then it was, I got down the street and got snuck up from behind.
And then I woke up in the bushes and I was like,
and
that
then
doesn't
it
make sense.
became two people. He got hit twice. So we're like, okay, you're lying,
Yeah.
clearly.
You gotta get your story straight, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. You just don't trust him.
Nope.
Like, and now we know he's bad. And I loved the moment where Captain Renard was just like, if we have a Wesen cop do it like being bad, he's gonna be sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have the exact quote right now.
No, that was the exact
delivered,
quote.
yeah.
If we have a Wesen cop being bad, we're gonna get him.
He's going to be sorry.
He's gonna be sorry.
Brought me to tears.
All right. I wrote down a lot of quotes from the episode. I forgot
Just
about.
not that one.
Yeah. But we did get an interesting moment where the Captain Renard, where he sends out this like new character, this like new underground Scallengek.
Yeah, that guy was cool.
In like a really nice suit. He was
That
heck
suit
yeah.
was very
He was-
handsome.
that was badass.
Yep.
That's what I want Rosalie to become. Like some like awesome assassin, like suit wearing. Well, but like girl suit.
Obviously, we want her in like a nice like leather alias suit.
Like alias would work, or
Yeah.
like I was gonna say like Canary from
Yeah, no,
Arrow.
for sure.
Yes,
No, I just
please.
want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
That we want her in something
Yeah, Canary
specifically
on
leather,
Arrow,
Yeah.
not
Mockingbird on Shield, like all that, like that
Yeah,
nice skin tight, like just jumpsuit that she can just go to, like.
I hope she has a mask over her Fuchs mouth. So cool.
No, I don't want a mask. I want to see the Fuchsbow face, like
Do
getting.
you?
Yes, I want to see the fierce Fuchsbow as she murders people with her knives and potions. All right.
I also want to see this.
Okay,
We gotta
guys.
come up with a name for this spinoff.
Yeah. You know what? Let's let the fans come up with a name for once.
No, okay.
We always steal the names from them. Guys, name our Fuchsbow show. That's what we want.
The Fuchs
Yeah.
assassin.
Yeah.
Rosalie show.
But
We-
Fuchs Bow Down is taken.
Oh, nice.
Fuchsbow down.
Yeah.
Excellent. While you do that, guys, there was no Meisner in this episode. I feel like I'm going to give a Meisner update every episode.
I'd
There was
expect no less of
Yeah.
you, Yael.
There was no Meisner.
And they didn't
was
even
worried.
mention him this time.
Nope, but I would suggest that everyone tweet at the Grimm Writers, hashtag we want Meisner. But also they asked you to tweet hashtag asking for trouble. That was the official tweet, right?
I believe it was.
Or Trouble in Paradise.
To get trouble
Asking
back.
for trouble. Again, NBC is following Twitter and stuff. This is very important to them. Social media absolutely influences stuff like that. Now, the writers have already written most of the season. I don't think they're done yet,
Yeah.
but they absolutely are paying attention, and they know that the writers know that the fans love trouble. They're
Hashtag.
well aware.
Asking for Trouble in Paradise.
No, that's way too long. Just use both. If you must, use both.
Separate them.
But guys, I want to take a quick moment
Yeah.
as we're talking about all the social media and stuff and tell you how you can go onto social media and help us out. Guys, I thank you so much again for watching. Like, we've been doing this. We started the Grimm podcast. It was almost exactly a year ago. I think it was a year and a week ago. We did the first Grimm podcast with just me and Yael, way back in the day. And you guys have been an amazing fan base since then. We have the best fans here at AfterBuzz, and the best way that you can help us out here is to go onto iTunes and go onto YouTube. Go onto iTunes, hit the subscribe button, and then hit us with a rating and a review. It just takes a minute of your time, even less. It could take 30 seconds of your day,
Less.
and it really does a world of difference here. It helps raise the watermark of the entire network, helps other fans find the podcast, and it helps us keep the lights on through crazy magical internet formulas. But guys, so yeah, please. And I also, if you leave us a review on iTunes, you get a nice little shout out on the
That's
show.
so nice.
So I want to give a shout out to Bob Stacy, who said, a great podcast, great show, 5 stars. Grimm is a great show, and this podcast is great in following the story. The hosts are good and lots of fun. Keep up the great Grimm work.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Thank you, Bob Stacy. Western Blot 3 says, entertaining discussion, 5 stars. I enjoy their discussion of the Grimm episodes. It is a good balance of recap and review/discussion.
A lot of discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to discuss.
That's true.
There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about with Woo's Clues, you guys.
Yeah.
Woo's.
I like this live chat thing that we got going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They-
that's another way that you can join in.
They have a lot of good stuff to say. A lot of people also thought that it was going to be piss. So you were not alone.
Yo, good. I didn't want to bring it up because I thought, oh, they're going to think I'm a weirdo.
I thought you were a weirdo.
Okay, well,
but,
I did not.
But I didn't think any of the fans.
Black Fox Down is the first.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's a Grimm Foxation. Oh, you guys.
You guys are great.
We're moving on from that now.
Oh, so good.
Let's get deeper into Woo's Clues. It's Woo's Clues. 'Cause we only talked about it for a minute.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it at length because we got so much Woo's Clues in this. Guys, Woo is just fully aware at this point. Like, he knows
Yeah.
what Vessin are, he knows what Nick is, and then what a Grimm is, sorta.
Sorta. I think he's still a little off on most things.
Well, 'cause-
like even when he was like, "Oh, so we're Grimm?" No,
Yeah.
no,
That was great.
I mean, that was a very fair question. So you've seen it and I've seen it, but Nick sees it too, and he's a Grimm. Okay, so we all see it.
Yeah.
Thus we're
If
Grimm.
A equals B,
It
and B
may-
equals C, then
Yeah.
A equals C.
Yeah.
It's a logical thought,
Yeah.
even though it was wrong.
no.
It's interesting that as they're attempting to explain it, though, like, imagine, this is how I feel every time I explain the show to people who don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an ability to see the truth. That's how they describe it.
That's a terrible way to describe
Yeah,
it.
it's not helpful at all.
No.
But I guess it is. I mean, these are creatures, but they look like regular people. But they look like regular people to everybody, except when they get emotional. And then they turn into monsters. But not all of them are actually monsters. Some of them are good, and some of them
My
are very
head hurts.
attractive. And
Some of them are very attractive.
yes.
Just wanted to make sure we all heard it.
I'm not shy about that.
Look, we had Rosalie on the show.
We
and
did.
Zach said,
We did.
to her face.
Yeah. That was good times.
We did see, and that's the other way that you guys help us out when you go on
Yeah.
and review is that we get guests like we had Rosalie in the studio.
We had Bree Turner.
We had her in the studio.
She sat next to me.
Yep. And we had last year we had
Sasha
Sasha Royce in
Oh
the
my
studio.
gosh.
And we're working on more. We're actively working on it. We can't say anything yet because nothing is set in stone,
Yeah.
but we're working on it, and your reviews help them know that it's worth coming on the show.
Yeah.
Right. Because when we ask for guests to come, they go and they check out the show and
Yeah.
they see the reviews, they see the comments.
Just like telling Woo any information at all helps him understand what in the world is
Yeah.
happening. Did you guys think that Renard was going to tell Woo about him? Like, he knows that Renard is aware of everything.
Yeah.
But I was like on the edge of my seat at that
Yeah.
point. I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna tell me he's a royal? Is he gonna vogue in front of him? Like, what's gonna happen?
I thought, I was kind of worried that he was going to vogue in front of him and then we would lose his mind.
Yeah. I was really hoping he would explain that he was a royal because then Woo could ask the question that we're all asking, which is, what does that mean? What specifically does that mean?
So why are you here?
Yeah.
That's what he should have said.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a royal. Well, then why are you important?
Yeah, why are you a captain?
Yeah,
of
why are you working for the
station?
police? If you're a royal, there's a disconnect here.
Yeah.
Is the mayor a Vesson?
Yeah.
I mean,
He works for the mayor, right?
It's a fair question.
Yeah.
but I mean, at the same time, like, there is another royal coming. You
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we Adeland and
Oh, yeah.
Victor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Blanked for a moment.
Well, all of you today.
It's
All
been
of
a
you.
long
We
break.
just got back.
I'm so excited.
Been away for a while. No, but Adeline and Victor are coming back to Portland.
Yeah, which she teased us with.
Yeah.
Because we had Claire Coffee here earlier this season.
Yeah, she let
told us.
that slip.
She was like, don't worry, we'll be coming back together. Oh, was I not supposed to tell you that?
No, but like I'm excited to get them back because we're just getting more and more of our people in the same place until it explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Portland, the entire city of Portland is literally just going to explode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
awesome.
like a chemical reaction.
Like when a Fuchs bow and a
Blue
blue
bot
bot
get
make a
together.
baby.
I mean, what do you think is? I guess we'll save that for predictions.
Yeah.
But they are coming back. We just got like that one little scene of like
One thing I wanted to bring up, because we didn't talk about it, was during the interrogation where Nick was kind of giving him the...
Losing his stuff.
Yeah, raw, slamming his head down and whatever. Yeah, he turned crazy zombie Nick White again, like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
was losing it.
I'm so glad.
That's
that's
awesome.
the
That's
thing.
back.
Yeah.
He's still zombie Nick. There's
But
zombie
I felt
Grim.
like that kind of
Yeah.
went away.
Did he turn white?
Yeah, he turned
He
white.
turned white.
The color on my screen was a little off,
Oh, no.
unfortunately.
He
but
turned white.
He was white.
And I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like whiter than his normal white.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's clarify.
I mean, that's a great plot twist.
Yeah.
A great possibility. Like, well, again, I
And
think
it
it's
was,
really
and
just
it seemed
we're
like
glad
it was
didn't.
when he was getting really angry. So it almost seemed like it was consuming him, and like he's going into some kind of crazy rage, grim state.
Well, I mean, you could imagine that maybe it will become the way that a Grimm vogues, or at least he as a Grimm will vogue. So it's connected to his emotion, so it shows when he gets riled up. Also,
But does it make him like lose his kind of ability to control himself? Because it looked like he was starting to lose his like control. So that is dangerous, because then he could just start killing people.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Nick flips and starts murdering everyone.
And that's why Trouble needs to come back.
to control Nick.
Yeah.
That would be. I mean, I don't want that to go on for too long because I love them both, but that would be a great episode where they have to bring Trouble back in.
Yeah.
A great way to bring her back in to deal with Nick. Like Nick goes off the rails.
Super Saiyan Grim.
I mean, effectively, that's what Nick is already.
That's true.
With the zombie stuff, his hair they're keeping it.
No.
technically,
He's
it would
like
be an Ozaru Grimm.
Oh.
Because you can't control the Ozaru.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
control
Okay.
the Super Saiyan.
This side of the table does not understand. That's part of the
Can we get to
conversation.
The
Juliet?
fans do.
he gets
Yeah. Okay. Fine, yes.
We're running out of time. I want to get to Juliet.
We are, and yes, absolutely. Do not think that I at all forgot about Juliet. I wanted to leave a whole segment of the show to talk about Juliet the Hexenbiest.
Yeah.
Yes.
More than just that one moment. Like this is not going to be something that just comes and goes away. Like I think she's going full Hexenbiest at this point. Like I don't think it's like a temporary thing. I think Juliet
It almost
will be.
seems like she kind of wants to keep it. A little bit.
Why?
I only say that because like she called Nick, and instead of just freaking out and going like, Nick, oh my god, I just turned into a Hexenbiest, oh my god, she was just like, hey, come home when you can, I got something to talk to you about.
I feel like that's news you don't want to drop on the phone though.
Yeah.
Well, it's Nick though. I mean, he's a Grim. I feel like you could drop that on the phone.
The first time she picks up her phone and she goes to call
Yeah,
Nick,
she hangs up.
doesn't call
Right.
Nick.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like part of her wants to tell and be like, oh, there's something wrong with me. But at the same time, she's like, I kind of want this because now I'm in this world. I'm not just on the outside looking in. Now I'm a part of it.
And she's a Hexenbiest, which is awesome.
Right.
But sorry, Tauri, go ahead.
I was just gonna counter to your point in that, like, I think it was more of a, hey, it feels like we just got things back to normal, and now I'm dropping this bomb on you. So that was my take.
Yeah, I think it's also that she has such a negative connection to Hexenbeasts at this point. Like, I think there is like a certain worry that like Nick is not gonna. Not that he's not gonna love her anymore, but like he's gonna freak out that she's a Hexenbiest.
I don't know. We know Juliet has a like a bad side, you know. Remember the scene where she had to be Adeline and she was like, I will get to do stuff that I don't normally do. And you're like, oh, naughty Juliet.
There's a difference between she has put on effectively a costume and is like gonna get like have some dirty like fun times, and I have changed into a witch monster that is the most horrifying thing you have ever seen when that part of me comes out.
I don't know. If that happened to me, I'd be like, that's kind of cool.
I just don't think you can compare her being a hexenbiest to role play.
Okay.
Those are different.
But, I mean, she got a taste of it. She's been watching from the outside for so long, and she's not a part of this. Everyone has something special. All of her friends. Rosalie and Nick is a Grimm, and then you got, Monroe. Those are all her friends. She's hanging out with them all the time, and she's always looking out. Like, oh, look at all these guys in this world that I have nothing to do with. Now she's all of a sudden like, I'm in it.
From it,
scary, but exciting.
Yeah.
I think once she processes it, we'll see that side come out. I think at this point, she's really just freaking out and trying to figure out what is happening to her.
I think also she wasn't able to tell Nick, hey, here's what's up, because at the same time, he was like, by the way, Monroe's missing.
That's true.
Rosalie's come to stay with you.
And she couldn't show Rosalie because Rosalie's got enough to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were Juliet, because I'm selfish, I'd have been like, let me distract you with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would forget that your husband's missing. Because what the F?
Or you just feel bad about both things. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to fix this. Oh my gosh, my husband's gone. Why?
And now I spiral into a deep, dark pit of depression.
And then we have that terrifying nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that moment where, it lingered just long enough that I thought it was real.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, it has to be a dream now. They're not cutting to a dream, you guys.
A string of profanity came out of my mouth.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
I was like, all sorts of dirty words.
I think I yelled, what the F is happening, Grimm?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Wait a minute. Okay. Oh.
I think I probably just went,
You gave me a
oh,
heart attack.
F.
Yeah. It was sad.
It was sad. It was scary. Again, because they're painting it as if it was real, for that moment. And these episodes are getting darker to the point where it feels like somebody could legitimately die.
Yeah.
That would have been a really extreme way to do it because it would come out of nowhere.
That was there was no, that's the thing, is I just thought it was another scene, just rolling, and I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, we did see Rosalie kind of more of
Yeah, she seemed a little meaner than she normally
meaner,
is.
and but we.
But
get
at
what
the
she's
same
going through.
time, you were like, she's dealing
going
with a
through
lot of
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was good. They did a good job.
It was great.
That scene was. It made my heart skip a beat.
Yeah, that scene was well done to everyone, shooting wise, directing wise, writing wise, acting. All of it was very well pieced together. It was. So, what do you guys say we go into some predictions?
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Next week on Grimm.
Yeah.
An epic Grimm event. This is what they called it in the preview. Sentenced to die. And we got this image of what I was saying before, the fierce Fuchsbow Rosalie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed that in the preview.
I didn't see it.
There's this moment where she's because she's super angry. She's in the woods, like with a game face on.
Was she
wearing
as a Fuchsbow?
I gotta look
Did
this up.
she have the leather suit?
It was so quick I didn't get
Did
a
she
chance
throw
to
a
check.
potion?
Push.
Knife!
She's a bandolier of different things.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys thinking? Either of you guys down the other side?
Well, here's the thing, and we kind of touched on it a little earlier with the hashtags, and this one is free Monroe. And I kind of, part of me wants them to be like, let's leave it up to the fans. If enough people are like, free Monroe, they're going to be like, yeah. And if they don't, they're going to kill the crap out of him.
They shot and edited 2 episodes, and depending on social media.
So the East Coast one will have a dead Monroe, and the West Coast, he will survive.
That would be great. Who's right?
Yeah.
But really, I mean, I assume that they're going to beat the location of the people out of, what is his, Acker, Officer Acker, and then it's going to be a full-scale rescue operation.
Well, don't forget about the Scallengak guy in the suit.
He's finding some stuff
Like
out.
he's doing so. Like they wouldn't just have brought him in for a minute to not be like some integral part in this next half of this
Right.
plot line. Maybe he gets to Acker first, or he like comes up with the location. I don't know. I think he is going to be integral to somehow either saving Monroe or. My fear and my begrudging prediction is that they might get there just too late.
Yeah. That was what I was imagining for this episode, where them like showing up and then it's Monroe on the spike and they're being sad. Because that would have been a good way to like not ease back into the new season.
I don't even know how. Like, if they showed up, it wouldn't just be sad. It would be like, mortifying
Yeah,
to
it'd be
see.
heart-wrenching.
All of a sudden, they show up and Monroe is disfigured and burnt on a stake. I think that's a little rough for a main character.
It is rough, but like, you know what it is?
But he did scream, "I'll see you all in hell!" As they drove
did
him
see
off
that
into
in
the
the
woods.
Ooh. You know what it would do something that you don't expect on network TV. You don't get it a lot on network shows, and it's become sort of a fault of network television. Is that, like, a show on an AMC or an HBO is willing to kill characters.
Yeah.
Like, characters will die, and you expect them to die. But on network, you're like, well, it's going to be safe. Everyone's going to be okay at the end of the episode.
And even if they die, we're going to be able to bring them back to life because there's magic and there's potions and there's whatever.
Yeah, but I would love it. I would love to see that this show is willing. Not that I want Monroe to die, but I want the show to be willing to do that.
What if, in the process of them trying to save Monroe, Rosalie gets killed?
Why would you say that?
Because actually, I mean, that sounds something like, because she's a main character.
Right.
But we need Monroe more than Rosalie. He helps Nick a lot more. I know.
Does he, though?
He does. He does. I mean, he's been there longer, and he's helped more. I know she helps a lot with the potion store and doing stuff like that. But now Monroe knows how to do that stuff, too.
To a degree.
I feel like
it evens out.
Yeah.
The storyline of Rosalie losing Monroe is a more interesting.
You don't think so? Because Monroe used to be like an evil blue bot. And Rosalie getting killed could turn him back into an evil blue bot.
Yes.
No more vegetarians.
And he could just be on a killing spree at that point and just want to murder everyone.
But I feel like that is you're gonna have a similar reaction from Rosalie,
That's true.
and that's a way more
Oh, yeah, 'cause
interesting
she used to be
turn.
bad,
'Cause
too.
she used to be she had a really dark
Yeah.
storyline. Like, that is something that I would
guess it could go either
love
way.
to see. Either way, it's going to be scary. It's
And
going to be
sad.
crazy. Any more predictions, Yael?
Yeah, we will not see Meisner yet.
Good prediction.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
It's reasonable. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for Grimm this week. We'll be back again next week with
Yeah.
more Grimm. Until then, #Free Monroe. Tauri Miller, where can people keep up with you?
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. That's TaurijAY.
You can find me on Twitter at Dillon Chance.
You can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. There you'll find all the shows I do here at AfterBuzz, which is a lot. Also, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, ThatZachWilson. A whole bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. Agent Carter, Resurrection. We've got the last 2 episodes coming up. So, guys, I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.